it's a lot like being a first-year teacher. When you're a first-year teacher, you've got all these grand ideas, you've got all these wonderful plans made, but you're always staying one step ahead of the students. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're teaching, you're left going, well, how do I do that again? How do I do that again? How do I do that again? And that's kind of where we're all at. We're all kind of at this place of being first-year teachers. But with that, we're learning, the students are learning, and any day you might come in to the school, some days it might look like there is a little bit of controlled chaos going on, and it might look hectic. The program might not be working the way that you planned it the night before. But then on another day, you could come in and things are running smoothly and expertly, where some of my lesson plans, they worked wonderful. Some of them, they failed. But that's what life's about, and that's where success comes from, is the ability to be willing to try to do something new. And if it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board, figure out what's not working, try it again, and keep trying until we do have success.
But we can't deny that technology is a real part of our everyday lives and a big part of our students' lives especially. So rather than hide from that, we decided to take it head on and try to make technology a part of everyday life and learning at Lakers.
The other thing about the iPads is that every student in our school has had the opportunity to have technology in their hands, and that's a wonderful thing. There may be some students that might not or may not be able to have an iPad at this time, and they all have one, so they really get to it's technology in the working every day with these kids. So I like that for each student. It was made available for every student, so that's been a great thing.
So with the iPads nowadays, with the new technology going around, people are going to expect you to know how to use like the iPads, the computers and everything. So I find it a great source that we get to start out when we are in a high school or junior high, even in elementary, that we get to use these iPads, because when we get into the real world, now it's going to be all like technology. So we need to know how to use it.
First, we're told that the whole school is going to get their iPads. Mr. Keim had said that he wanted his staff to, maybe some of us would go 65 miles an hour and some of us would only go 20 miles an hour, and he was okay with either of those speeds as long as we weren't in park. So I felt like that was a great way to get introduced to it, because every teacher had their own comfort level. And I myself had never used an iPad prior to getting mine this summer, so I really wasn't sure how I'd use it. And my first goal was to become a user myself, and then I tried to figure out how I would use them in my classroom to foster learning or to assist learning.
Actually, the kids have taught me stuff on the iPad, so they've been teachers to me too.
I was excited about being able to link my students with current information that was not found in their textbooks. In health, everything changes every year. I just felt that it was more interesting for them to be able to apply what they learned into a presentation that could possibly help someone else. For instance, when we had a unit on dating violence, the kids worked in groups and made their own PSAs, public service announcements.
I really liked the iPads because they were very good for taking notes. I like to take a lot of notes, so it's nice not to have to carry around all the notebooks. And some of the apps I liked were the free calculators, especially the more complex ones, graphing calculators, because some people can't afford those. They're quite expensive.
I liked having the opportunity to go on the internet and research the things that you needed right then in class. Like, if the teacher said a word that like no one understood, you could just go to the Merriam-Webster app and you could figure it out on there. And I also like the iTunes U, because then like if you were out of school that day and you missed the assignment, you could just check up there, see if there was anything new on there. And also Edmodo, where the teacher could tell you their lesson plans for the day. You already knew what you missed.
We didn't have the iPads. We'd have to wait for a special time to see the grades, but off this app Skyward, then you can just type your 4-digit number in and then you know your grades at any time.
Well, frankly, even though we wanted to give a lot of trust and freedom to our students to use them, to be able to download their own apps and programs and things, we probably overestimated the amount of maturity that young kids would have in dealing with that kind of technology. And that's no fault of the kids, they are who they are.
We like the rule that like when you are not eligible, you cannot have games on your iPad. Because if you have a bad grade, you'll like strive and work harder to get your games back.
It just goes with our motto in Lakers, just with effort comes reward.
And most students, at least from my perspective, have been courteous about that, and eventually they learned it. There's a time for and a time not for, like anything else, and they were fine with it.
The way we've remedied that this year is we've restricted our iPads to apps for learning and teaching only, and we've taken away all of the students' ability to download their own gaming apps, social networking apps, and things like that. And we've actually had very few complaints about that. We have to be aware that when we engage technology, we're leaving a footprint there that we may not even be aware of. And so to be more aware of the way that technology works and our responsibility to be smart with it and use it in the right way. And that is simply helping students to be more aware of the life skills, the basic skills that technology may have taken away from us to some degree. For example, the ability to walk up to someone, know how to shake a hand, to make good eye contact, to carry on a conversation.
This iPad program, our kids need to be on that cutting edge.
I think we definitely took a positive step forward.